everyone, I'm JD. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I was working very hard on my scrap embellished journal and I finished it before the deadline. So we were supposed to finish it by the end of May, and here it is. I can do my final flip through at the end of May. So we've got this beautiful book. Because of the yellow on the front and the cover, I just did a yellow embroidery thread binding, and there's a bit of a loose yellow theme inside, but you know, it's all very, very botanical. Using all my embellishments featuring scraps in some way, and I tried, the point of the challenge was also to create something beautiful using scraps, something interesting using scraps. So that was my aim. Not just to slap any old thing on the page, but to actually create something beautiful and engaging and interesting. So starting off with some yellow flowers as a journal card, and we've got a pocket here using one of my journal cards too. Well, you know, some of the things I stuck to the page, some I left so you could remove in case you want to use them in other ways. So there's one of my embellished glassine bags and some excess note paper, you know, an offcut of paper, a long journal card that's used as a pocket. And then, yeah, lots of stitching in this one. I used one of my ruffles on here to decorate this coin envelope, so you can take that off and use that however you want. Okay, maybe I need to take off that paper clip first and put whatever you want inside there too, something secret. And this was just taped on the back too. Taped, paper clipped on the back as well. Another journal card. My snippet roll, so I did use all of my snippet roll in this journal just to mirror, I think, the brightness of this, the colour here, that brings out that. Sewed on this envelope. I love this large envelope, so pretty, so you can put something in that large tuck spot. And then we've got a pocket page, more extra journaling space with a offcut. And then we've got another journal card. There's a lot of journal cards in this. One of my, what's it called? Pockets made from an envelope. You know, you got those junk mail envelopes in the mail. So I call that a scrap because usually I put those in the bin, but not since I became a junk journaler. And there's another, what's it called? Journal card. What do I say? Scrap piece of fabric and music paper to create this beautiful manila folder tag. And there's a pocket, so that's really cool. This is a flip page and snippet roll, and one of my scrap cluster collage notepad thingies. Love the texture there. You can write all on that or just use it as decoration. Corner pocket. Love this one that I added a bit of washi tape to. And this is a pocket as well, made from offcuts of scrapbook paper, so you can put anything you want in there. So I tried to pack in as many types of scrap embellishments as I could. Hopefully it gives you some ideas of ways to use your scraps. Here's another way, a scrap cluster type thing turned into a tuck spot. Love it. I've got tutorials on all of these things, I think. I've got one on this, so check out tutorials, just search tutorials and you'll see what comes up. But yeah, I've got everything. There's another snippet roll, and if you want to know about the stickers, the In Love Art Shop stickers, I always get questions about that. It's from In Love Art Shop website, and there's a code for 15% off. Remember, I'll put that in the description box below as well. So there's another one in this glassine bag that I've embellished using a scrap. So the idea was you can use other things, but the scrap has to be featured in some way on every single item. So this is my scrap piece of, what's it called, not ribbon, fabric, ruffle. Another pocket. And this glassine envelope, I left it in the pocket so you can use that however you want. With vintage stamps too, so some extra paper for journaling space, paper clipped on. Just trying to show different ways you can embellish too, different ways you can add things to your journal. Here's another coin envelope, a little one. And then here is a scrap cluster. And this one is so fun. Okay, here we go. So it's a glassine bag, and inside is another way to use scraps with a little mini journal. How cute is that? And I chose one to go with the yellow theme. So again, and the green, yellow green. So for Botanical. So I am trying to think of how the scraps work together. I chose the embellishments that had the same kind of colour scheme and work together as a whole. Here's another cluster collage piece. Love it. Notepad piece. More journaling space in this tuck spot here. And then this one, I love this. So you pull this off and you've got a large envelope. And you can stick whatever you want in there or turn it into a page of a journal, which is what I would do with an envelope that size, but it's kind of fun like that too, to I don't know, store some extra journaling space or ephemera. This is a coin envelope like that, and this is actually a pocket if you want it as well, so you can tuck 2 things in there for fun. One of my scrap clusters with some fabric, and one of my snippet rolls again. This one opens up, and another little cluster there, ruffle, and then another pocket. And I love this one, this is so cool, just gorgeous colours. And I did use this piece here that has some writing on it, which I thought was fun. So authentic scraps, they're all authentic, but that one's even more authentic because it's got the handwriting. This one is the one that I kept doing this to figure out which one flipped out. This one's a hidden like flap. And then I've got more journaling space in here. This folds out, and another card. This envelope is actually attached, and you can have more writing space in there, or place to store ephemera. Here is my little butterfly cluster with the snippet roll, so I just wanted to use that to decorate the page on its own, so the butterfly stood out. Another tag, I love these tags so much, with the manila fold on the back. A scrappy piece of wallpaper as the pocket. And another one, this is the return envelope thingy that you get in the mail. And I've put another journal card in there. And I love the window pockets. And then back here I went for an autumn theme here for this back pocket with the green and the red. And then one more little scrappy fabric cluster, one of my favourites, because this is actually vintage fabric. This is vintage fabric too, and that's from the wedding dress that I got from the op shop. And then we've got the back end pages too. So that is my finished scrap embellished journal. I hope you like it. I hope it gave you some ideas and inspiration how to use scraps and how to use embellishments in different ways in the journal to create something that is still beautiful and interesting and engaging. So yeah, if anyone is interested in purchasing this journal, as always, feel free to contact me in any of the methods below. I'll place my email below though as the preference. Still going with that, it's working well. So for those who don't know, I'm trying not to put physical items in Etsy anymore, and instead people can just contact me directly if they're interested in any of my items, journals or packs. So it's a bit of a chunky one, so just know that. Some people don't like chunky, but I know a lot of you do. Single signature, and it's a hardcover, so it's going to be nice and protected, but that does mean you get alligator mouth. So if you're happy with alligator mouth and it growing the more you add stuff, then of course you can take things out if you want, and that will give it more space to grow. But yeah, that is the journal. Hope you love it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!